Hi, my name is Randy Rolfe, and I'm an independent consultant with Nikken, and this is an independent presentation. I'm not speaking for the company, but I'm going to share a product showcase with you this morning and have a guest on to share her story. And I started Nikken 19 years ago, and it's been life-changing for us. I think we've stopped the clock. We actually feel better than we did when we started in '97, and we didn't have any problems back then. In the meantime, I injured a knee and a wrist and that kind of thing, but they all heal faster with Nikken, and we breathe easier. We don't get colds or flus anymore. It's been truly amazing. So I really enjoy sharing these amazing technologies about Nikken, and I'm going to share some PowerPoint slides just to keep me on track. So if you give me a moment, we'll go there. Here we go. All right, so Nikken is all about active wellness. They're actually the first company to use wellness as their core focus, and now it's about really active wellness, taking back control of our own wellness. Wellness is a very common term now in many different areas of life, but active wellness is where you take control and do everything you can to support your body naturally the way it was meant to work. And Nikken has been the leader in that area for 40 years. And it's really about living a life in balance and keeping your body in balance so that you're more resistant to degenerative chronic illnesses and things that destroy the quality of life, even if you don't call it any kind of disease or chronic condition. What I found, I was originally a lawyer, then I became a family counselor when I realized that preventing problems was the core of what I wanted to do with life. And what I'd found was that it's the small decisions everybody makes every day, we probably make dozens of them, that add up. And it's consistent good choices about lifestyle that result in better income, health, relationships, happiness, and success. And it's not about one big decision like I'm going to join a fitness club, or I'm going to lose 30 pounds, or I'm going to go to bed earlier. It's about changing your environment that you're living in and choosing every day to eat well, to get the sleep you need, to get the rest you need, stress management, all of those things, little tiny decisions every day that add up. And what it adds up to is whether you're a human reaching your potential, humans being more, which is the motto of the company, or being humans being less, under stress, not achieving your potential and getting dragged down. So the current context for looking at your wellness is way worse than 18 years ago when I started, almost 19 years. Stress is the silent killer. All the authorities tell us that 70% of the heart disease, diabetes, and cancer that kill us early are related to stress, and much of the rest of it is related to toxins and the things that reduce our quality of life: fatigue, allergies, depression, anxiety, sleep problems, and weight problems are all related to stress. The people who show these things the most are the ones that have late night jobs, because it disturbs their whole rhythm and increases the stress on their bodies. Sleep, 70% of people report some kind of sleep issues, and we know from science that one poor night's sleep reduces your immune system by 30 to 60%. And also, it is during the night that your immune system rebuilds, your nervous system relaxes and files all the memories that you've accumulated during the day and sorts them out through good quality dreaming. And memory, if you don't get enough sleep, your memory is definitely affected. That's been shown scientifically. Toxins in our air, our water, even our bedding are serious and increasing problem. 70 million premature deaths around the world are linked to air pollution. But even here in the United States, our indoor pollution can be 100 times worse than outdoor because we have so many chemicals in our house. We clean with chemicals, most of us. And also we closed up our homes in the 70s to save on heating and cooling. And so the dangerous positive ions build up, make it harder to breathe, and add stress to our bodies. And then, like I said, all the airborne chemicals. And then our water pollution is in the news every day these days. 260 contaminants have been found in tap water and even bottled water. There are thousands of contaminants. People are buying bottled water thinking it's better. Certainly it tastes better because the chlorine's removed, but there's still the VOCs, the agricultural chemicals, the dead microbes, and heavy metals can still be in the bottled water. So these are some of the things that we're facing, and it's scary. So what can we do? What's the solution? The people that suffer the most are our children, and that's completely unacceptable. These are the first generation of children that we believe will not add as many years to their lives as their parents did. And we've always been extending life expectancy, but it's not happening for this generation so far. 1 out of every 5 adolescents is obese, and a third are overweight, and they are getting cardiovascular diseases, cancers, and type 2 diabetes earlier and earlier. Less than half of adolescents eat the needed amount of vegetables. Low-income families are, of course, way worse off. Sometimes they're in food deserts. There's no fresh food at all available to them within any kind of reasonable distance, and they have limited resources as far as good information, healthcare, and of course they have higher stress, longer jobs, more anxiety and depression, which all adds to the stress on their physical bodies. And only 27.1% of high school students are getting the activity that's recommended. This is completely unacceptable for the wealthiest, supposedly healthiest country in the world. I just learned that we are 9th in the top 19 developed countries as far as the health of our children. That is ridiculous. So we need to do something about it. What can we do? Well, the answer is humans being healthy by choice, not by chance. Obviously, if we leave it by chance, we're overstressed and over toxic loads on our bodies. So choosing active wellness, it's not as hard as you think. It's not like you have to go on some severe diet where none of your favorite foods are included, or you have to exercise 90 minutes a day. It's not that kind of thing. It's being active in the choices that you make. And this is where Nikken comes in. Nikken has a total holistic, comprehensive approach to life, and I've found as a lawyer and a nutritionist and investigator of wellness for many, many years, it's the only only corporation that has a completely comprehensive, holistic approach based on nature. And the founder started 40 years ago with this concept that true balance and happiness comes from balance in 5 areas, 5 pillars of health, he called it. Healthy mind, healthy body, healthy family, healthy society, and healthy finances. And most people can tell you which of these 5 is weaker in their lives. And if you can shore it up, the others will benefit as well. They're all connected. If your low income is too low, then you can't do what you need to vacations, give back to society, and your health will suffer. If you have health problems, it's hard to do your job, it's hard to care for your family, and so on. If you're surrounded by negative people, you don't have time to build your mind, to rest,
friend, Rachel,
to meditate, then you also are going to suffer. And of course, if you don't have time with your family, then you're not going to feel fulfilled, and you'll have more problems with your family because they need you. So Nikken developed first magnetic products, which put us back in the natural magnetic field that all living things require. We can't live on any other planet in our solar system because they don't have the same magnetic field that we have from the spinning iron core of our Earth. I've just been studying a course in geology, and all living things require this magnetic field. But by living indoors, we've removed ourselves from a lot of that good influence, and then we are surrounded with electric alternating current, with Wi-Fi, and all kinds of radiation that is different from the kind of energy we had naturally in our first couple million years. So Nikken's found ways with their products to bring that energy into our homes. Then they developed high quality purified water, which makes us more responsive to good energies. It calms us and nourishes us, keeps us hydrated. Then they developed an amazing line of nutritionals that are whole food based, pharmaceutical grade, but not pharmaceutical. It's in balance, just working with the body. And then developed an air system, which not only cleans the air, but adds back those good, beneficial negative ions that we need that are outside in a forest or by a waterfall. And then they developed a light, which is here on my desk. It's an LED light, doesn't flicker, full spectrum, extra blue, which makes you more alert during the day and helps you develop the proper rhythm to sleep well at night. And so this is a quick overview of our nutritionals, of our product lines, the nutrition and skincare, which is our consumable products, just take them every day. They're all packaged for a month's supply. It's really easy. And we're at cutting edge for bone health, for antioxidants, for basic nutritional support based on whole food sourced vitamins and minerals. Amazing special juice for rebalancing blood chemistry, and so on. It's truly unique. You really need to explore those more. Environment, like I said, creating the right wellness environment in your home can do wonders. I like to say that nobody knows how good they can feel unless they're in a Nikken wellness home. The air, the water, the light, and that funny little thing is a shower head that not only purifies the water, but alkalizes it, mineralizes it, and again magnetizes it, because all natural water comes out of the earth. It's properly structured for living things. And then the rest and relaxation, that's the core of Nikken's product line. Started with insoles for the shoes to create the same well-being as if you're walking in the forest instead of on concrete and asphalt. And it feels wonderful. People can tell that their strength and resistance can increase immediately when they put this in their shoes, and they've been known to help diabetics have more energy in their feet and warming their feet in a wonderful, often life-changing way. The little square there is another favorite magnetic product that is for the lower back, and it either cools you or warms you depending on what's happening in your lower back. It feels fantastic. I always wear that if I'm doing anything that I think might stress my lower back. And then, of course, the core is the sleep system. I said sleep is so important, and that has 3 major technologies in it: the magnetic technology, far infrared technology, which Nikken is also a leader in, which uses the frequency of the sun that is best for life just beyond the red. You know, we have the visual spectrum, the red, and then the infrared, and the far infrared is what plants use to photosynthesize. It's what helps normalize our hormones when we see natural light. It's truly that far infrared helps our body warm itself and keep itself alkalized. So those acids that build up with stress, the far infrared helps mellow them out. And then it also gives off beneficial ions while you sleep, so it makes it easier to get that oxygen into your lungs so that everything works right. So that we have a number of these live programs during the week that go into much more detail on the technologies. So I'm going to move on now to our guest. Let me stop the slides. And my guest today is Rachel Dayton. She's a wonderful associate in Nikken and fine leader, and she's in Colorado and has some great stories to tell us. So Rachel, if you can tell us what caught your attention initially for Nikken and what's it done for you lately?
Awesome. Thank you, Randy. I love what you said. I took some new nuances there in sharing this because it's so key. So I was introduced to Nikken almost 18 years ago. I played ice hockey for 45 years competitively and hit the boards and broke my ankle. And I'm such a jock. All I wanted to do was get back on the ice. So I overdid it and developed some severe tendonitis, and some of our smaller products just astoundingly helped me get over that pain, really, and heal more quickly. And then I was asked what else was wrong with me. Chronic insomniac. I got on that sleep system and I slept 9 hours straight the third night. And I called her up and I said, I don't know what it is. I don't know how much it costs. I'm $15,000 in debt and I need it in a queen, and here's my credit card. And then I went and looked at just an overview of Nikken. And the thing that really grabbed me, if we go back to some of what you talked about, was the 5 pillars of health. Completely sold me on this. I was going through a divorce. All the money was going out the door. I was too guilty to ask Henry for support. And that whole wheel of balance was off. And I thought, you mean if I partner with this company, all these things and facets of my world will change. So have they ever? And it's just amazing what we can do. So I want to share a couple new stories. First of all, this business is, to me, the lifeblood of it is the collaborative mission that we're about. And so just Randy and I tag teaming a little today is part of that. But I had a party over the weekend, and 2 people that have been in Nikken longer than Randy and I have been were at that party. And one of them has a boyfriend who's a doctor. And they were at a table, and I was out with other guests, and they talked with one of my friends there who broke her back falling off an elephant in India. And anyway, I'll shorten this up, but as Herb walked out the door and said goodbye to me, he said, you be sure you call Joyce. She wants a wellness home. Well, thank you, Nikken, for the free shipping we've got going on right now. She ordered the sleep, the water, the insoles, and she will be on her way to amazing discovery. And then, so that 3-way collaboration of, I've been talking to Joyce for 10 years about this. It just took somebody else and a doctor sitting there talking about sleeping in a cocoon to have her really hear what she wasn't hearing from me. And then referrals. I met a woman a couple weeks ago at the farmer's market. She had horrible pain in her back. I stuck that square thing that Randy was talking about, that back magnet in her. I gave her a power chip, a couple things. It's kind of like, take 2 of these and I'll call you in the morning. And the next day she called me and said 70% of her pain was gone. Now, she has referred me to 12 people in 2 weeks. And I've met with 2 of them, and both of them, immediate experiences. Chachi I met with, he's a brewer. He's in his 50s. He bought the Carbondale Beer Works restaurant in town 4 months ago. He's in so much chronic pain, he couldn't even get out of the chair when I walked into his restaurant to meet with him. I slipped those insoles under his flip-flops and just talked with him, got the back flex out, and I could see he kept looking down at his legs, like disbelief. And then he stood up after about 10 minutes. I said, can you stand up and let me put this flex and belt around your back? And it was like it wired the connection. It was almost instant. He sat down, and within 3 minutes, he says, all that pain in my knee is gone. So that's the world of just some of what we can do with this. And I'm telling you, after 30 minutes with Chachi, we stood up to say goodbye, and we texted yesterday. He was much better. He's going to talk to me again today. But he got up and he said, I have to give you a hug. This is a Hispanic man in his 50s that I've never met before. You don't get that. And he came up and embraced me and he said, thank you so much. And I walked out the door really on such a high, thinking, what a way to make a living. You know, what a way to have some fun making money. So that's what I've got to, you know, on to more. I've got 6 more people I'm following up with and in the loop. And yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it's so much fun. And I know when I started, I knew that this had to be helpful to people because I knew from my study in wellness back in the 70s that the natural energy was really important. And we had bought an old farmhouse and we minimized the electric when we rewired it. We did the minimum that we could get away with the code because we wanted to get more energy. And it was later we realized that we didn't even have anything between us and the earth. And when guests came to visit, they said they never got tired when they were in our home, and we were putting them to work to help us rebuild. But there was only a wood floor that was a virgin forest that they'd laid this floor with, and then there was a dirt basement. So we were living outdoors essentially, and the chinks in the brick was all missing too. So we were living outdoors. And it was amazing. People said they felt so good. And it wasn't till the 90s when I found Nikken, when we moved back to Pennsylvania, we're on concrete slabs again. When I heard about it, I'm like, wow, this guy, when we were discovering this in the 70s, this guy was over in Japan figuring it out, how to do it in modern living. So now we're in a house surrounded by good energy, and it looks like anybody else's house. And helping people is amazing. Sharing these stories with people. I know you're a skier as well, and you have some skiing stories there, Rachel. Can you share them?
Oh, absolutely. I'm very active. So I've had 4 surgeries actually, and most recently skiing, I fractured my tibial plateau in March, and I was heading to Paris on May 7th, I think, and there I was on crutches, and they looked at me in shock. You're going to Paris and Iceland, and you think you're going to be walking around? And I doubled up on the bone health pack. I was taking my joint compound, was doing all my magnetic stuff because I just knew those crutches weren't even getting on the airplane with me. And I did amazingly well. I headed off to Paris. I think the second day I was there, I walked 8 miles around the city, and, you know, I had a little bit of hardly any pain, really, just kind of fatigue in that knee. So I've been through multiple surgeries. I broke my ankle, a different ankle than the first one I talked about. And I healed 5 months early from that using these products. And I had to ask my surgeon, my orthopedic surgeon, to x-ray me because I believed the hardware was ready to be taken out. And I just didn't want everything, the new bone growing over all those screws and plates in there and having it be really messy. And he's just never listened to anything I've said about this. He's never believed it. So he comes back out and he goes, we can schedule that next week. It was December, and he was looking at May for that to occur. So yeah, and I use it every day preventatively. I have to say, we've talked a lot about, or I have after the fact. This is about getting on it ahead of time. So I wear my back flex every day, and my back doesn't stress out from all this active lifestyle I've had. And, you know, I just work with it that way. It is my sport medicine chest. No Advil in my life.
Oh, I love that. And I am totally with you on that prevention. I really think we can wipe out chronic disease in our lifetime if enough people realize how healthy their bodies can be if they give themselves what the body grooves on. Like you said, the bone health, the joint. These are things that we don't get enough of from our diet. And Nikken's figured out how to compound it, to formulate it, so that the body can use it just as it would if we did have perfect nutrition and if we did have lower stress level. And it's amazing that we can live in this kind of healthy environment and still do what everybody normally does, although if we're in the business, it's a lot more fun. And like, I love what you said about hugging. Nobody ever hugged me when I was a lawyer. And even when I was publishing books, I didn't get hugs. But as soon as I started sharing, when you touch people at the core of, you know, their energy level, their pain level, they're just having the confidence that they're preventing problems that they'll never know about, that people want to hug you. It's really nice.
Yeah, and I pointed out to this gentleman, I said, oh, I love this. The first thing I did is I changed, he was a right arm over. I said, left arm over, let's just change the direction. And I said, the founder of this company, everything was about the Masuda hug. And I said, and I love that he embraced, he didn't pat, he held, and yeah, it was amazing. I mean, talk about meant to be, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, in case people don't know, you're talking about how to do a hug.
Heart to heart.
Yeah.
If you've never done this before, think about it. Put your left arm over the top, and your hearts will cross and connect.
Yeah, it's quite an amazing little extra that Mr. Masuda taught us. And so we have time for one more story. If you want to share someone you helped recently, or
Well, I might add on that new customer of 2 weeks ago who's referred me to all these people. She I got a text from her yesterday, and she said, I just ordered my mattress pad. And I thought, oh, gosh, this is great. You know, I set her up with her own customer account. It's free. And we ordered her first, you know, couple products together. She had bought the back magnet and the power chip, and she's having a horrible time sleeping. She's a woman in her probably late 50s, early 60s, about my age. And so anyway, that was fun and exciting. I also met with a 31-year-old who's our executive director of the Chamber of Commerce. She's a marathoner. She gave birth to a child 3.5 years ago. You met her, Randy. We did a 3-way call together. And when I met with Andrea, I slid those insoles under her feet, and she's got severe pain up in her hip that's developed from her running and probably whatever else is compounded going on internally with, I think, inflammation. And she later on, after about 10 minutes, I said, what are the insoles doing? And she says, well, I didn't want to say anything, but what's so funny is the minute you put them under my feet, I could feel it in that bad hip. And I said, you know, I've often heard that this energy will go to the place that needs it the most in the body first. It's like it just wires it to where it needs to go. So again, it's fascinating to see it all. Yeah, lots of stories. My mother's 91. She went on the bone health pack. She does not do the lactoferrin, but osteodense and calcium, and has probably been on it 7 years. And her bone mass has stabilized and actually rebuilt in some areas, which is astounding. They just don't even think that's possible at that age. So lots to look at.
Yeah, that's just one example that that Nikken attracts amazing researchers that are trying to support the body, not just medicate it or manipulate it, but rather support it. And the bone health is amazing. She doesn't have any side effects, right? Or only good side effects?
Oh, totally, only good side effects. And she is on a Nikken bed. She's got the water. She has little magnets. Her favorite thing's the CM cream. She called this morning and ordered 2 more tubes. She always has an extra to give her friends. She thinks it's the Wonder Cream.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, my mom, she said she couldn't have climbed the Great Wall of China without her insoles and her back wrap and her necklace and her knee wrap. And she said, why doesn't everybody know about this? And I'm like, well, you and I have to tell everybody. So thank you so much for being my guest, Rachel, and sharing the great stories. And everybody can benefit, whether they're 25 or 85. It's truly amazing. The body is always trying to heal itself, and there's so much we can do to support it. So thank you all for being on the call, and thank you again, Rachel Dayton. It's been a real pleasure.
Yeah, lots of fun. Thank you, Randy.
And we're non-medical. Just say that. These are all non-medical, and we don't diagnose or treat, but we help the body heal itself. So thank you, and have a great day.